my favorite thing to do, and now I noticed it's my kids too, is getting the Lego characters and swapping their clothes out. And they made me a Rick Astley. They made me they made all kinds of like crazy. They made a me. They made my wife. They made my mom. They
Oh,
made
that's
my
awesome.
in-laws. They make all these Lego characters and they switch out the little hairdos and the.
That's cool. That was the original avatars, man. Before,
I like how they know Rick Astley. That's
Oh,
amazing.
they love Rick
they're
Astley.
never gonna give up on him. They're never gonna give up on Rick.
They're no strangers to love.
Yeah.
They know the rules. And so do I.
I'm trying to remember the next line. It's no doom, and I'm dreaming of something like that. Never gonna get, never gonna get.
So before Rick rolling was like popular, I used to always sing that song at karaoke.
It's a great song, dude. Did you ever see
It
the
really
behind the
is,
music on that song? Or
and
the yeah, it's pretty cool.
it's fun to sing too because you get to like act up. Like you sound like you're a good singer, even though you're not, because you're doing an impression of a good singer.
Right, yeah. That's right there with I want it that wait, like as far as
Yeah,
karaoke's go, because you know you're gonna have the crowd with you.
even
If
if
you
you suck, they're singing with you.
yes, that one and bye bye bye, like you're pretty safe with like certain songs.
I am. I always joke. I'm the Kiss of karaoke. I'm all show, no talent.
That's what it's all about with karaoke, I think. I don't know.
Some
I haven't been to a
people
lot
look
of them.
down on it. I think it's fun as shit.
Yeah, I think
Tony, come on. What's your go-to?
I
Tom
have
and I are.
we used to do karaoke on my show and in here, and
wow.
I used to let the guests sing. I didn't do a thing, and only once I jumped in and did "Bad to the Bone."
Oh,
Dude, that's a good one.
That's a good one. But I'm actually curious Mark, name your price to jump out in karaoke and sing the Friends theme. So
oh God, I
I
don't
know how
know
much
it.
you love Friends.
I don't even know the song.
It's like no one told me something this
I know
way.
there's like the guitar riff that it's like, and then by the time they go, I had the TV off.
I've never seen a full episode of that show. I don't think.
Oh, you
I
haven't either?
haven't.
Yeah, I know Mark's not a fan. I didn't. You too, Don? You've never watched a full episode?
I've never watched a full episode. I think the only time I've ever seen scenes or anything will probably be like if someone shared it on Facebook or something. Or, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like little clips.
right.
I've never seen a full episode of that show, but I know. I'm pretty sure you're a big fan of it, and my friend Pete Soto, huge fan of Friends.
No, I
Quotes
wouldn't.
it and stuff like that. And
No, I'm not. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't hate it, but I only know it so much because of Lisa, my wife. She loved it, or still loves it
I
actually.
don't believe you, Tony, because I know you have a tramp stamp of the entire cast.
Matthew LeBlanc is a sexy bastard. Let me tell you. I'll tell you, I'm dead serious. Least out of the three hotties, Lisa Kudrow is actually, I think she's the most gorgeous one out of the three.
I agree. Yeah, she's
Really?
hot. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
used to love
That's
Jennifer Aniston too. Remember her from the? She was on the Ferris Bueller show. She played his
Yes.
sister, and then
Yes.
she was in that Trolls, and then she was even in a comedy sketch show with Roseanne Barr back in the day.
no
Really?
shit.
Yeah, and I
I
used
don't
to
know
think she
any of
was.
this.
Yeah, dude, check it out because when she was younger, because she's like our age,
Right.
like in her early 50s.
Yeah.
She might be a little older than me, but I always thought I had a chance in my friends. Like, hey, she's my age. I just gotta bump into her someday. But she was
Basically the
always
same, eh?
yeah. But Kudrow, when that show came around, where her and her friend,
I'll be right back.
uh, it was her and her friend, and they had a reunion.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
yeah. Romy and
yeah,
Randy's the high school reunion or whatever.
that's when I started to look at Kudrow
Or
different
you
and be like,
started,
oh,
your eyes started to wonder.
I started to wander away from Aniston and onto her.
So in high school, my girlfriend in high school looked just like Jennifer Aniston, like looked like her, which is crazy because Angie looks like Angelina Jolie. I look more like Armpit than Brad Pitt.
That's a great line.
It's all about that confidence and that Riccadonna swagger, man. You getting
It
all the
is.
hot babes. Yeah,
I
man.
would. That's even back then. People were like, you look like Don Sill, and I'm like, well, funny you should say. No, but she was obsessed with Friends, like to the because she kind of looked like Jennifer Aniston. She even had the haircut, and they called it the Aniston.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
yes.
It's like she was so into it, and she would have these parties, and all of her hot friends would come over, and they would watch Friends, and it was like a thing, like that. It was like every whatever day it was. I don't know what day it came on. Thursday,
Yeah, I think so.
like Thursday at eight
Yeah, so it
o'clock,
was the
everybody goes
Thursday.
to her house.
Right, it was Friends and Seinfeld, right? Yeah.
What
Was
they call
that the
TGI?
combo?
Yeah, it was TGIF or
Well,
something.
that'd be Friday.
Yeah,
It
that'd be
definitely
Friday.
wasn't
But
Friday
they had a
'cause
thing. It was definitely Thursday, but they had a thing for it like that. Like I forget. Whatever. But that was a good show.
the people in the chat room are gonna kill us on this. Like, how do you not remember Thirsty
It's
Thursdays? But she would have these parties, and she would always she would beg me to come. She's like, it would be so because I didn't know a lot of her friends because she was like in the high school band. She was a majorette or whatever, and I
oh,
played
nice.
football, so I didn't know a lot of her friends.
They were
And
nerds.
yeah, they were geeks. I ain't hanging out with them nerds, but they were all like they were hot, and they were all the girls, and so they would all go to her house and they would watch, and she'd be like, "Oh, my friends all want to meet you, whatever," and I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, no, I don't really want to watch Friends, so if I come, like, I'm not gonna watch. I'll hang out and do something else." She's like, "No, well, we all watch. Like, you can't ruin it. Like, you have to watch it." And I remember I was like, "Yeah, I'm not coming. Like, I'll come over to your house after." Like, and everybody's leaving, I would be pulling in, and then I'd hang out with her for like an hour or whatever. But I remember she told me Tom Selleck was going to be on, and she knew I loved Tom Selleck. So she's like, "Well, Tom Selleck's going to be on. You should come this week then." All right, I'll do it. Like, if Tom Selleck's going to be on it, I wore my Detroit Tigers hat and everything. Like, I'm coming in
Nice.
costume. I showed up and that theme song came on. And I swear to God, it got to like they all fell into a fountain or some shit. And I was like, I just stood up in front of everyone and was like, I'm out. And I just walked out.
I can't do this anymore.
I can't take this shit. Riggs, I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too
Meanwhile, I
old for
was
this shit.
16.
That's hilarious. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks, guys.
Folks, you've been wonderful.
All right, everybody. Very excited. Two very good friends and great guys have joined us, and you can see the three of us along with Mike Pacetti and Don Jameson on December 13th. Don Sill and Mark Riccadonna are here. Very excited. This is great.
I'm so pumped to hang with you guys in person.
Yes, me too. It's been too long.
I've been super busy, which is like cool, but it also sucks because I've done none of the extracurricular things they're all my little comforts that I was used to. Like I was seeing Tony once a week on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Don, you and I were like working on little side project stuff. And it's like those were all my little creature comforts as an artist that made me happy. And it was kind of like, well, there's no time to podcast. There's no time to like just get together on a Zoom and try to write something or come up with an idea. So it's like been good, but it's also sucks because it's like the things I love doing.
Well, Richie Byrne has been, he's been very upset,
I would pretend that that is real, except for the fact that I know he doesn't even know how to check his text messages. So I doubt he.
I don't think he's even noticed. I don't think he's even real. Oh, that's right. We used to do a podcast. Like, I don't think you think he's noticed.
Recorded those? I thought those were just live shows that we did in person.
I thought we were just hanging out and catching up.
Where can I find those things?
I don't think he's ever A, watched a full episode, or B, he's never even shared one of the clips. Like, I spent all this time clipping it. And I even wrote, I don't know if you guys are on the Blue Sky, the new social media.
No.
I haven't crossed over yet.
I know he'll never join it. So I'll post stuff, and I'll be like, this is why Richie Burns, one of my best friends, unfortunately, he doesn't know how to check email, so I don't think he'll ever be on this site. But here's a clip of Richie Burns.
Well, speaking of friends, because there's something I wanted to show you before we go any further. On your podcast, you we a few times had musician John Billings.
Yes.
Well, this is the brand new Mickey Dolenz live album, right? That just came out within the past week or two. And me being the geek that I am, I love to open up these things. I still collect CDs right there. That tells you right there I'm a geek. But I'm reading the liner notes. Let's see, right. The liner notes. Produced by John Billings.
Our boy grown up and went out and made something of himself. I want to take full credit that it was us who launched him into the stratosphere.
That's right.
Even though he was playing on professional stages when I was in diapers, I'm taking credit.
Well,
I'd love to cut to the clip where it's him saying the interview that you did with Billings, and you're saying, you should get in touch with Mickey Dolenz.
Well, here's the thing.
You think so?
But Mark, you have an assignment now.
Okay.
You're doing the show with us on the 13th.
Yes.
Billings is playing right here in Westbury with Mickey on the 14th. So,
are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Find out if he's going to be around on the 13th, and let's get him in here.
Well, yeah, he's on tour with him right now because I'm going to miss him after we're done. I'm going to finish painting the office for my kids, and I'm driving to Boston tonight.
Oh, wow.
Staying with a friend because I'm in Augusta, Maine tomorrow. Yeah. So I want to try to get some of the drive out of the way tonight, but I'm missing John. He's going this way. We're going to miss each other.
So you wave to each other on the highway?
Yeah. I'll be, when I'm on 95, I'll be, hey. But every once in a while, this is why I miss the podcast so much, is we made all these friends, Yeah. I see Joe Wooten all the time when I'm on the road.
I saw you've been posting pictures with him, yeah.
Yeah, like I hung out with him in Pittsburgh. I hung out with him in Philadelphia. I hung out with him and the brothers that were all in Ardmore.
Yep.
And it was like ships passing in the night. Sometimes it lines up, and it's like...
That's cool.
I get to go hang out with these guys, and it's like all because of the podcast.
So, so hopefully if Billings is coming in a day early or something with Mickey, or if you're able to stick around overnight, maybe on the 14th or something, we would love to meet the guy.
I'm texting him right now.
Nice.
Um,
So, and congratulations, as we're talking to Mark Riccadonna, you can see Mark and Don and myself and Don Jameson December 13th in the Giggle Room. Go to govs.com and make your reservations. Mike Pacetti. It's going to be a great, great show, and Don's going to host the Don Sill, not Don Jameson. Don Sill is going to host a Q&A with all the comedians after the show. There'll be meet and greets, all that stuff.
Dude, and tell if because I love this whole show, but I'm willing to give Mickey Dolenz 5 minutes if he of stage time if he wants. We'll give him a tight 5.
We'll give him a quick type 5. I'll ask Billings if him and Mickey
let me.
Well, I'll light Mickey at 3. So Mickey, you know.
Not lighting him.
Are you lighting Mickey Dolenz? Yeah, he's going over his time, man.
Yeah, he's
who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Mickey Dolenz, for those who don't know, legendary monkey. He's the only surviving monkey.
Yeah.
God bless him. But dude, Tony. I am so psyched. We've been doing these Governors Podcast Presents comedy shows. This will be our fourth one,
Right.
and our biggest one. I love every single one that we've had in the past. Has always been great. Mike Bichetti rocks. I love having him as our kind of front man. It's the Mike Bichetti and Friends.
Get ready for some major ass crack.
Major ass crack. He has trouble getting up on the stage. It's worth coming out to the show just to watch him get on stage. Literally, Mark, he was climbing on all fours. He couldn't get up the steps and he fell. So Tony, God bless him, only has he's one leg. He's an amputee, and he's helping him get up the steps. And I'm sitting there like a lazy fat ass in the back, filming it, laughing. But I will say, God bless Tony Walker. He's always there to save people. But
Oh, we have a great night.
Yeah, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah! Guys, keep it going. Keep it going, guys. You guys are great. Thank you. I fell asleep in a science fair. When I woke up, I found that I won first place. You guys are great. Thank you. My girlfriend works in a strip club. She's the bouncer.
Oh, my President Jimbo, everybody! I wish you wouldn't tell people that I'm his fucking trainer when he has a hard time getting off the stage. Just to save it till after you're on Ozempic, Mike. Then you'll have me, okay?
And isn't he might dress up as Santa, so there's a chance, bring the kids.
Yes.
Just what you want. Just what you want. Your kid sitting on Mike Pichetti's lap. That's
Tony, you
Christmas.
Said you were checking on a Santa suit, right?
I am not having any luck locating a Santa suit, but I'm still looking around.
If we buy one for him, he needs.
He just said that
triple
Tony,
XL.
He's planning on doing your podcast. John is planning to do the podcast. He wants to know if I'll hop on with him.
Oh,
I said,
There you go,
of course,
dude.
I'll hop on.
oh, sweet. All right, that's news to me. So, all right, so we'll figure that out. I didn't know that.
Well, he's trying to figure it all out right now.
Sweet.
Yeah, they have a travel day, so it's his first day that he doesn't have a gig.
Oh, so that's perfect. So maybe they, he can even come to the show.
Dude, if they can come to the show, that would be amazing. It would be so much fun. John is the best laugher you'll ever meet.
Really?
And the funny thing is, he's the whole reason I know John is because of Don Jameson.
Oh, is that
I went
right?
to John's place with an open for Don.
It all comes full circle.
What, down there in Nashville?
Yeah, he had this great place. It was like an industry place. Everybody in the audience was a famous musician, recording artist, or producer.
Wow.
It was insane.
Wow, that's cool.
Hold on,
awesome.
I got to tell him that.
Oh, that's
Very cool. And
fantastic.
so Billings.
Who's in the big room that night?
I'll tell you in a second.
But Billings is a musician, right? What else was he on?
Bass
What's some of
player.
his
He's-
bass player?
Your
He was
bass
with-
player. Sorry, go ahead.
He was with Rick Springfield for a long time, Donna Summer for a long time, and now he's Mickey's guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was also a Pearl drum rep for a
Wow.
long time.
I tell you, I love Rick Springfield, but man, he juiced the hell out of that one hit. I mean, he's still going strong.
Yeah,
Like
Well,
it's like 40 years later or 50
He's
years
still-
later. I mean,
he's still Jesse's girl.
yeah, exactly.
He's ripped though. He's still ripped like it was 40 years ago.
And he's in his
He looks
70s
good.
now. Yeah.
Jeez, and he looks good. He's in great shape. Like he's a legend. But think
Yeah.
about it. He's legitimately a legend. But one major hit. I don't even know another song by.
I've done everything for you.
Is it good?
That was a hit. I only know it because Sammy Hagar wrote it. That's the only reason I know it. All right, so Vladimir Kamano is playing the club that night.
Oh yeah, I know him.
I don't know who that is. And then there's a late show that night too, the Urban to Suburban Comedy Series.
Yeah, maybe you could get 5 on there, Mark. If you want.
Yeah, I think that's Mickey's crowd.
That's Don. That's actually really good that they have a late show because then, they won't. Hopefully, then they won't be throwing us out, so we can do the Q&A and the meet and greet and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're doing the Q&A, and then after that, we want to do the meet and greet and set up merch inside the giggle room.
How close is Englewood, New Jersey to Levittown?
No
Say
idea.
probably about an hour. Sounds like an hour.
Okay.
Everything New Jersey is about an hour.
I was going to ask what an hour sounds like to you. That you said it sounds like an hour.
Let me know if I'm right.
No, all right,
Hour.
it's an hour and a half. It's 90 minutes.
Okay.
What?
It's funny. That's where I hung out with him last time they were in town, was Englewood, New Jersey.
What? That's where he's going to be that night?
The night before. Is it trainable? Hold on, I can pick him up. What the hell am I bitching about?
Awesome, man.
Wow.
The Billings. So it's gonna be awesome having notable guests in the audience as well.
Yeah, that'll be. I'll definitely make a mention when as I'm hosting that night. I'll tell the crowd that he's there.
Yeah. The great Richie Byrne is also planning to stop in. He said he was working that night, but he's gonna try to get out of it.
If we get John to this, he better show up. And
Yeah.
I think John needs to be in the sketch that we're planning on recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for damn sure. That'd
Yes.
be awesome.
Yeah, I'm outlining that now. I'll have that. I'll try to get that out to you guys today. That's going to be great. All of this. Wow, that's going to be a great day all around, man.
We should also do if we can pull this off. Tony, let me know, and Mark, if you guys are all good. A post podcast. Maybe about 20 minutes, half hour after the show, after the dust settles, we all kind of gather in there.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in no rush to get, I'll drive John back to Englewood. And
awesome.
he could be on the podcast there.
Of course.
He could be in the sketch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. I said it before we started, but I'll say it again. Congrats to you, Mark, and to Don, because you worked on it too. My friend Doubt is just kicking ass all over the place. You guys are winning all sorts of awards.
Insanely. I mean, I don't want to say fortunate because of all the hard work everybody put in. It's not like it wasn't an accident like that. It was good, but the fact that people recognize it's making me so happy.
Yeah, I bet.
And I said it before, but I do sincerely mean it, that everybody worked so hard on it that it made me look good. Like everybody's going like, "Oh my God, you directed this amazing movie," and it was like, yeah, but it was all of their work that made me look good. It's like thanking a supervisor for cars being a nice car. It's like I just sat back and watched the people work. I just put the right people on the job.
That's actually a perfect segue to the next thing I wanted to talk about. Actually, you're one of those guys, and Don and I, we've talked about it, and I know he sees it too. You're like Joey Cola and even Richie Byrne. It like whenever your name comes up, or like around here, you get at least one other comedian. Oh, I love that guy.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
Well, actually, just yesterday I did. Well, I'm showing this Friday. So on Wednesday's show, Fat Jay was in here, and I mentioned, I was promoting the December 13th show, and sure enough, Jay's like, "Oh, Mark Riccadonna, I love that guy. He's been there for me. He supported me. He's a true gentleman." And he just went on and on about how you've helped him. I think you got him into the Church of Satire, I believe.
Yeah, dude, he's a great guy. Here's the thing: is that means more to me. I mean, I don't have the huge accolades like a lot of these comics. I know where I am on the totem pole. I'm very aware of it, but it means so much to me when being respected by peers. I think that means more than anything else.
Especially when you're not in the room.
Right.
and they're saying good things about you like that.
That really makes me feel good. Thank
Well,
you, guys.
well, I got.
Glad we did this today.
Well, I got more. I got more for you. Before we started, you and I think before Don joined us, excuse me, we were talking about James, from Governors here. When I told him, because I went to him first before we made December 13th definite, because I didn't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to go to James. I got Riccadonna for the 13th, and then all of a sudden find out, oh, Tony, I got him for February. I don't.
Yeah.
So I always go to him first. Say, look, I got this guy, I got this one. So I went to him. I said, I got Don Jameson and Mark Riccadonna. They want to do December 13th because I was all excited, and Don was too. To have you guys.
Yeah.
So
Excited.
Immediately.
Jameson and I.
Oh yeah, we're very. This is we're very flattered that you guys agreed to do this. But James immediately, big smile on his face. He said, "Oh, Riccadonna, I love that guy." I mean, you know how James talks. That was my James impression. Love that guy. But he. I mean, immediately, as soon as I said it.
I mean, dude, this means so much to me because it's like the idea of I was ready to give up all social media. Don, I think I was telling you this, or maybe I was telling Jameson. I was ready to pack it up because we were doing the podcast for so long, and then the hurdles of after COVID was over. It was so hard to get people to commit to we just an hour. You know what I mean? To commit to an hour. It's so hard.
It was tough.
Everything was difficult, and so I started doing those clips where I was going and taking the clips because I wanted to stay relevant, and I honestly was clipping stuff that to me was interesting, not necessarily that it was something that might go viral. It was this is something that if I turned on the computer, I would smile to hear Joe Wooten tell us, about how the day that Victor came home and figured out his style.
Right.
Right. To me, that's more interesting than seeing some guy fall off a roof or whatever.
Right.
So I'm trying to clip things that are a little maybe uplifting and some things that are about artists and interesting. And then I get, 0 likes. I get 300 views. And it's so depressing. But then I got a couple of direct messages from people I really respect who said, oh, man, I look forward to 6 a.m. while I'm getting ready to go to the gym. I know at 6 a.m. you're going to post, a 1.5 minute clip on Instagram that's going to make me smile, or make me think while I'm on the treadmill, how do I apply that to my art? Or how do I apply that to my thing? And it made me it made my heart grow,
Right.
that it was well, at least maybe it's not likable. Maybe people aren't liking it, but at least people that are watching it like it.
I mean, I think. Go ahead, Don. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was saying success, especially with the podcast world, it's what you define it as. Now, would we all want 1 million views and be like Joe Rogan, where everything you could fart on and go 1 million views? But also success comes in different forms, like the three of us here right now. I never probably would have met you, Mark, if it hadn't been for podcasting. And then, now we became friends. I've been knowing you now for 4 or 5 years. It feels like
working on projects together, planning projects together.
Tons of projects, everything from short films to sketches to all kinds of stuff, other podcasts, all kinds of stuff. Same with Tony, me and Tony, kind of creating our whole little empire here in Governor's Podcast.
Good word.
Yeah, we're getting into filmmaking as well. We're also doing the podcast series, and then we're also doing these live shows. Then we're happy to have you a part of it. So success comes in all different forms of levels. The numbers don't always show the score. So I'm glad you're still doing it, man, because you're great at podcasting. That's the first time I ever saw you was Drinks, Jokes, and Storytellers. You had Richie Minarivi on, and the Godfather of Long Island Comedy. So I started watching it, and I just I liked the chemistry you and Richie Byrne had, and then I also just liked you as a your personality and everything. So I started watching all of them, So
No,
and now, like I said, and now we've become friends. So yeah, I think success in comes in different forms. Now
yeah.
we still want the million views, so share and like
Yeah,
and everybody
and it's
comment.
unfortunate. We're in a weird place, and it's morally I don't like it, but we're in this weird place where it's like people only measure success off of finances,
Right.
views, likes. It's like a lot. I mean, a lot of the really famous artists that we all look up to, and their paintings are in the Louvre, like died penniless. Does
Dude,
that
like
mean they were not successful? I mean,
Van Gogh never knew of his fame.
True. That's
yeah.
right.
And I just feel like, and I don't mean that as an excuse that it's like, well, nobody likes what I'm doing. I must be successful like Van Gogh.
I'll show them when I'm dead.
Yeah. As soon as I die, you
Yeah.
guys are gonna miss these jokes. I
But
don't
that's
mean it like that, but it's like
but
I like the work I'm doing. Like I really do like the work I'm doing.
That's the
Like
most important thing.
we worked on Doubt, and then it was like it's doing well. And then we start working on this new one, Painted Caskets, and it's like just getting ready to start going out to the festivals. I'm waiting for Michelle to get back from Europe because I need help with the film Freeway thing. But it's
Right, yeah.
I'm proud of it, and I like the work that's being done, and I feel like the shows I'm doing on stage, I would invite my family to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well,
I feel like the we're in a great place, but the problem is like say podcasting. Like just a perfect example is we have these interesting podcasts with guys like John and Joe Wooten and all these like great people who
not
are
Richie.
artists, but it's the yeah, not Richie. He's the problem. But
He, he's holding you guys back.
the thing is like Joe Rogan, like you were saying, like he can fart in a microphone and 10,000 people love it. I'm not taking or throwing shade at Joe Rogan at all, but like
Right, yeah,
I
same
wouldn't
here.
want to do his podcast.
Right.
I wouldn't want to do what he's doing. And it's not I'm not being shady or I'm not being jealous or bitter. It's just it's not me. Like I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to do like he's trying to like chip away at stuff and figure out conspiracies and figure out like I don't want to go down that path.
Right.
Like
I mean, you're talking about all this with the podcast world, but it's very similar to getting into comedy. You of course you want to make money, you want to be able to support your family and eat, but there's so much more to it. It's the feeling
Yeah.
of making people laugh. It's the whole journey of getting there to enjoy the whole experience. Like you said, you're hearing all this praise, and I'm I know Don gets it too. Don and I talk about all the time. Don will reach out to each other. Oh, so and so reached out to tell me how much fun they had on my podcast. I tell everybody. Roy Wood Jr. was doing. He came in here, sat with us, went out to do his set.
Great.
He loved being in here so much that when he finished his set, he came back. Like you can't put a price tag on that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
that makes it. That's why we keep going and keep doing it.
And I think there's something addictive about it too for guys
Yeah.
like us. You have to love it to do it, especially if you're not seeing the numbers or like you talk about stand up comedy. If you're doing comedy, but and it's for smaller audiences or you are open mic level or whatever, but you've been doing it for years and you're still going. There's something deeper than that, deeper than the success part of it. That there's a I just think a driving force
Yeah.
and a passion for it. And you have to love it and just love getting on stage, love the ritual of it all.
Yeah.
It's like for me, I don't do comedy. I haven't done comedy since like 2002 or 2001. But I've done other forms of it. I write, all this other stuff.
Right.
But it's a driving force that is the motivation. The motivation cannot be to success. Like Alec Baldwin before he killed somebody. He once said in a in an interview, he's like, if you want to be an actor because you want to be a movie star, quit now because it's never going to happen. He goes, you have to be an actor and have passion for it. He goes, you have to work any stage you can, any theater you can, any play that you can get, and you have to do it and give your all for it. He goes, when he was coming up, he played in Streetcar,
Yeah.
stop, and he
Yep.
did a whole scene like just as he's talking. Also, he gets into character. He's like, stop. And I remember being like, "Damn, Alec Baldwin, man, that stayed with me for a long time." And now, if I ever see him, I just get out of the way if he's wielding a gun. But but
All
other
right.
than that, I think the guy is a brilliant actor. But he made a point, and the point is that if you're in it for fame and fortune and all that at the beginning, it's never going to happen. You have to be pure. Your intentions have to be pure. You have to love it. You have to want to
Yeah.
be a storyteller, want to be a
Right.
comedian, want to be an actor or whatever.
Well, and I mean, it's making a movie. Like, if somebody's like, I just want to make a movie, I want to direct a movie, and it's like, man, if it's not a movie that you are really passionate about, it would be a miserable experience.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean,
Goddamn hard work.
that's why that's why we're all. I mean, Mark, you do it. It's your real job, but I mean, that's why we all try to make it our real job, or do make it our real job, because we don't want to work with the real jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so difficult to do that if you don't love doing any of this,
Right.
it's so easy to go just have a normal life.
Exactly.
You're
That's why
absolutely
we
right.
love it.
Yes.
If I didn't have to do this, if I didn't have to be a comedian or have to, like, even just doing podcasts and making films and acting and stuff, do you know how much easier my life could be? I
Yeah.
could just have a 9 to 5 job and spend time with my wife and kids and have that part of my life be fulfilled. But
Right.
I have to do this, and my wife knows it, which is why I love her so much, is she understands. Like, there's times where it's like, if I'm on the road too much and I'm just doing stand-up and I'm not doing the other stuff, she can tell in my personality that it's like, Mark, you need to, like, sit and write something or work on a different direction, because I can tell. And I have to have that variety. I'd be so much more successful if I just could do one thing,
Right.
but
Now-
I
It's a
can't.
curse. It's a curse, man.
But now-
it's a curse and a blessing.
But now I'm wondering though, like, did you get in trouble last night or something that you're praising her so much now? No, I'm kidding. So all right, I only have about 2 minutes left, and then I have to split. I wanted to get to, again, we're pushing December 13th. The Evil Twins of Comedy, Mark Riccadonna and Don Jameson. Who told you guys that you guys look alike? I don't see it. I mean, you two,
Don,
you two look alike.
Don, send him the pictures.
I'll send you the pictures of the two of them when they were young.
Oh, okay, all right.
When they were younger. Mark's got a great story. He shared it on Conversations, but if you want to share it again, that would be fantastic.
I'll do a short version of it. You got the long version yesterday. The short version is, this is 2003, 2004. No, 2003. Just started doing comedy.
Okay.
6 months in. I'm working at Stand Up New York, and I don't know if you remember, Josie's was the place to be seen every Sunday for brunch. Everybody on the Upper West Side, a who's who of Matt Dillon, Alec Baldwin, all of those guys, the Upper West Side people, are at Josie's having their eggs with hollandaise sauce. And they were the first place to have the fresh pressed juice. It was like the whatever. So it was my hangover cure. So I was walking to the club. It was Sunday afternoon. I had to go answer phones. I stop in to get a juice to help get rid of the hangover so I can answer phones all morning. I walk in, and this tall, gorgeous woman walks up to me and goes, "You're a comedian, aren't you?" And I was like, holy shit, this comedy thing's going to work out just fine. Yes, I am. And she goes, "You don't remember me, do you?" And I go, "No, I don't remember. I don't know you. I don't think we've ever met." And she goes, "Fuck you, Don. My last name's Riccadonna. I've been called Rick and Don my whole life." So I didn't think nothing of it. And I go, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry. And she starts yelling at me, takes her juice right in the face.
Oh, wow.
I get a juice in the face. starts screaming and yelling. All of a sudden, it hits me. She thinks I'm Don Jameson because we both have huge sideburns and we both look alike. She storms out of the place. I'm pulling out my driver's license going, I'm not Don Jameson. I'm Mark Riccadonna.
Holy cow. That's
She
hilarious.
walked out. I turned to the guy at the counter because I didn't get my juice yet, and I was just going to pay and leave. And everybody in the restaurant gives me a. There's a, I think I was like 21. I was so young. And
Wow.
I just turned, and everybody's clapping, and I'm embarrassed. I grab my juice. I walk out. I go to work. I break into the owner's office so I can get the phone Rolodex. I called Don Jameson because I didn't know him well enough to have his number, but I knew who he was from coming to the club. And I call him up, and I was just like, "Hey man, listen, I was at this restaurant, and this lady came over, this really hot lady. She threw a drink in my face. She thought I was you." And he goes, "Did you get her number?" And I didn't want to tell this part because Don's girlfriend was over at his house, and I just, don't want to say anything kind of crass in front of mixed company. But he goes, well, now I know when I'm on the road, if I ever knock up a girl, I'm going to say I'm Mark Riccadonna.
That's fantastic. That's
so Don
great.
and I became really good friends ever since that.
The evil twins were born that day.
Very nice. That's great. Love that story. It is time for me to get on out of here. December 13th, Mark Riccadonna, Don Jameson, Mike Pacchetti, and a few other people will be thrown up on the stage as well. And then you're coming back to McGuire's next month with Jim Bryan, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited to come back. I love Long Island. It's I almost moved there. Angie and I were thinking that was where we were going to move when I wanted to get out of the city. But we would be moving further away from family, where if we went the other across the bridge and went this way, we're closer to both our families. So, we're planning to have kids, so we moved close to her family because then we had help. I wasn't going to move back to Ohio. So
good old Youngstown.
Yeah, go to Youngstown and raise my kids there.
I love Youngstown and Warren. I love it there. I almost moved there.
Are you serious? I was born in Warren.
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. I knew that. Yeah, my first wife had family in Warren, so I was there a lot. I actually loved it over there.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Billings loves Warren. There's a really great place, the Robbins Theater, that they play. And every time he's there, he sends me pictures. And they go to the Sunrise Inn and get pizza. I'm like, dude, that's my high school go-to pizza joint.
It's the only McDonald's I've ever seen that serves pizza.
Somebody did
My
a taste
my
of that.
actual
Yeah.
town in Ohio, Brookfield, is I think one of the only towns in America that closed their McDonald's down because it wasn't making money.
Wow. Yeah, that's very
Where's the
odd.
original McDonald's? Original McDonald's is Ohio, right?
It's
I
Warren
think.
or Youngstown.
Oh no, that's the biggest McDonald's in the world.
Oh, okay.
My town, Brookfield, we lost within a year of me leaving. I'm hoping it's not related, but with me leaving, they lost their McDonald's and they lost Dairy Queen.
Wow.
Like,
See,
where the hell's that Mark Riccadonna, man? We haven't sold a Big Mac in weeks.
we can't
don't even sell Billy bars anymore.
we can't survive without him. And then the church is closed and the school's closed and the town just
I'm not lying. The church I actually got confirmed at, St. Bernadette's, is no longer a church. It's a rehearsal hall for this guy who has a band, and they turned the back into a pizza shop.
Well, I should tell you now, December 14th, Governor's is closing.
Yeah, after you leave us.
All right.
Donna, you ruined everything. Come see me ruin Governors on the 13th.
That's your next comedy album. Mark Riccadonna ruins everything. Yes, December 13th, govs.com to make your reservations. The flyer is up here on the screen. Mike Pacchetti, Don Jameson, Mark Riccadonna, I'm hosting. Don Sill hosting the Q&A after. Merch will be sold. Q&As, meet and greets, and it's just going to be a great, great time. Can't wait for that night. So thank you both for hanging out with me today for a little while, and I'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Take care, everybody.
Very nice.